Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in to what is episode 21 of Playing with House Money present the Soccer Gambling Cognoscenti. I am your boy Ice. Find me on Twitter at Iceman_1013. Joined right here by our consigliere, DJ Prue at PrueBaby10. How are you doing today, my guy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Happy to be here. Happy Friday, everyone. It's going to be a good day.
Hopefully so. It's the second Friday Club Live that the SGC have done, and the last one went pretty well. Hoping the same for this one. We got a few games. We have 5 games in play right now, 3 of which just kicked off with Red Bull Leipzig up 1-0 at half time. So it was nice that they got their first goal before half time, and hopefully they can come out in the second half and get a couple more. But yeah, we're just looking for some goals in these other games just to start us off rolling. But what are you? We have a big MLB slate today as well.
Yeah, the Friday afternoons are always fun. It's like they slam as many games as they can in, but I don't even want to move on to that just yet. Just hats off to your last, I don't even know how many weeks you are. It's your heater's on a heater point, so. It's
been a last day. Like you said, I don't want to go too much into it, but this week's been pretty decent. We had Monday Club. We know Friday clubs, Monday clubs can be a little iffy with some of the goals, but Monday Club we didn't have. We haven't had much to go on. We're getting to the end of the season for a lot of the European leagues, so it's that. They want to play all the games at the same time, so you don't get the games really spread out across the week like we used to. But Monday we hit a plus 476. Was only a handful of games on. Then went and took that into Monday night. Just played the only NBA bet from that Monday night was in the Heat game. We played Caleb Martin 3s straight at plus 440, which he cashed for us, which was nice. And then we went into Tuesday and the Champions League games. Again, very few games to pick, and we included the Mexican game in Liga MX. There was a Costa Rican game that night. We were scraping the barrel to find things to put together, but it all came together on Tuesday, and we cashed a plus 460 and a plus 1532. And then yesterday, the Europa, get into the good stages there, and we were 1 Chelsea goal in the Premier League game yesterday against Tottenham away from cashing a plus 5,000. But we round robin because 2 of the legs were plus 300, and we cashed a plus 1790 on the round robin. So that was definitely a nice way to go into today and into the weekend. And yeah, the free plays we gave out on Twitter, we're looking at Leipzig. Hopefully a big second half, like I said, can get 2 goals. We need 3 from them. We need a Xavi Simons assist in there if we can. So you know what happens, right? He's going to score is kind of the way that one's going to go. And then Lens in France, they are at home. They have a decent amount to play for, which is why I picked them. But we went over 2.5 goals for the plus money straight. They should win the game. It's kind of 6th against 17th in the league in France. Lorient, they're playing against, do have something to play for. They're trying to stay up. But Lens are also trying to cement 6th place and guarantee themselves European football next year. So they're by far the better team in that game. So hopefully they can bag one before half time and again put us on the road to that. But yeah, it's definitely been an interesting 2 weeks or so.
Everton goal.
Yeah, Everton penalty, Calvert-Lewin, and he tucks that away. So that's good for the Discord play with the away teams. So yeah, looking good so far. We'll keep dropping back in with the Friday live stuff. We're going to talk about some of this evening's MLB stuff. We're going to dive in like we always do to the weekend slate for soccer. But yes, we'll be jumping back in as and when there's some updates in those Friday games, just to see. And then you never know. We have the live bet king on. We might see if we can find a live bet for the people if something pops up in these games in the second half.
Yeah, I mean the Cubs game isn't going well for me right now. I took the DraftKings Christopher Morel boost just because it's a Friday afternoon in Wrigley.
Yeah,
why not? They're facing Milwaukee. But plus 200 for over 1.5 hit run RBI, especially at fifth in their lineup or fourth in their lineup. Yeah, I'll take that all day. So we're rooting on that one. But yeah, a lot of the games that I do like are starting a little bit later in the afternoon. But yeah, we'll look at some live stuff maybe for the Cubs. We have Dansby Swanson currently going for the Discord. That's also hit run RBI. All the props that I'll talk about today are going to be hit run RBI. Because actually I found some good value on a few of them as well. So yeah, we'll afternoon. We got Philly against San Francisco.
Yep.
In Philly. So that's at 5:40 tonight. And this one was completely instinctual. I'll keep it real with you. Like, this is one of those where my intuition kind of pulled me towards it.
Yeah.
I took your boy Nick Castellanos. Mainly what really kind of got me there was the value. Because for over 1.5 hit run RBI, we're at plus 110 for a guy that can literally crank a homer on any given day. Obviously on a loaded roster as well, where guys are on base. Plus 110 for Nick Castellanos that's crazy to me. And then a guy that's just been on a complete tear to start the season. I think he actually just broke a record as of Wednesday. Ellie De La Cruz. He's the only guy with like a certain amount of homers.
Yeah.
And a certain stolen bases or something like that. Certain amount of homers.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. You carry on talking it through. I'll find it. It was because I saw the same thing. He's like on pace for 42 home runs and 94 stolen bases or something like that at the moment.
Which is ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, I mean, you can't really keep up at that pace. I'm sure the stolen bases will be extremely high. It's also cool that he can throw the ball 106 miles an hour to his first baseman. The first baseman can't even freaking see the ball. He literally can't even see it at that point, Ellie. Like, we need to just, gear it back a little, scale it back a little bit on that. But yeah, he's having a crazy start to the season, and they still have his line at 1.5. To be honest with you,
that's not going to stay there for very long. I wouldn't have thought.
Well, it's because they're facing Baltimore also, which notice that the book's kind of like in those good games, like when it's two good teams playing, or it's one good team, like they'll kind of still nerf some of the superstars. So like that's something we definitely look for. He was minus 105 for over 1.5 hit run RBI. I'll take that all day. I'll literally take that every day of the year if they'll let me.
It was his April was 8 home runs and 17 stolen bases.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, first player in over a century to do that.
In over a century.
Yeah, first player with at least that many home runs and stolen bases in a calendar month since at least 1901, which I guess is
when they started
the records go back to. Yeah,
I was going to say, like, who the hell was that? Like, you're going to somehow tell me it was like Babe Ruth, his junior or senior or something like that. Somehow, I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, that's insane, and it's crazy because he's this young. But yeah, he's balling. Obviously, you expect that to cool down a little bit, but I fully expect him to get plenty of volume. And obviously, May just started, so let's not kick him off that heater until he at least greens that leg tonight. So we got those two. But there's so many games, dude, that it's like you can really take your pick at this point. I just want to go out and say Gunnar Henderson MVP season.
Yep. We haven't done too many, so playing with house money we've taken a nice couple of weeks off. Start the NBA playoffs, start of the MLB season. We've not really done too much on that stuff. Obviously, NFL draft and everything going on. But we'll be back. We'll be back next week. But yes, if you used to watch on a Thursday when we started talking, we did a lot of spring training stuff. Gunnar was my boy last season, and kind of you jumped on the bandwagon, and we talked his MVP season up back in spring training. So, I know a lot of the boys in the Discord, Pup especially, is always on at me about Gunnar, and I'm like, just take his home run every day. Like, if they're giving you plus 400 for a Gunnar home run, just take it. Like,
literally.
Yeah, So again, long may that continue, and yes, it's a long season, as we know, but there's definitely some value to be found, and we'll be diving back in and looking for that as we go. I already cashed the K's bet as well. To add to what we're talking about with my last week, I cashed the K's bet a couple. I can't remember if it was the end of this week, beginning of this week, or end of last week.
That was the one with Cease in it, right?
Yeah.
That's a great choice. It's a great choice all the time, even though my heart still. Yeah. Gunnar is another one that I saw tonight that his line is 1.5 for hit run RBI, which is kind of why I wanted to also mention the MVP season was just not as far fetched as a couple of the guys thought. So, kid's a star. Yeah. And then we get, and the beauty of it is we get him versus Ellie. Obviously, Draft doesn't offer that prop in the same game parlay area, which, to be honest with you, I don't blame them, because that would just be crazy. But yeah, that's another one. I want to say, if I'm remembering correctly, matter of fact, let me get the exact line, just so I'm not. Yeah, minus 150. Well, it's not. It's not insane value. You got to put a little chunk of cheddar in there. But I mean, Gunnar, you shooting true. Mm-hmm. I'll take that. If I had a mortgage payment left over in my pocket to put on it, I would. Don't get me wrong. Don't do that, by the way. If you guys don't have a mortgage payment to do it.
If you have a mortgage, it's only people that don't have mortgages that say I would put a mortgage on it. I feel like, because if you actually have one.
I got a buddy with like one of those freaking like restaurant culinary refrigerators in his kitchen. Like, he has a mortgage, and he can put a mortgage payment on Gunnar Henderson minus 150 tonight. So I actually might text him and be like, hey, run that. But what's going on, Jerry? We appreciate, any comments anybody wants to jump in and, ask us about any games you guys want us to run through, either, in MLB. I don't want to stay too far on the MLB also, because it is Friday. We got Friday Club going, and my man's has been on. It's been a crazy couple months, y'all.
We've had 2 goals since you've been talking. We've got the Athletic Bilbao goal has gone in, so that's great for us. Luton have equalised against Everton as well, so that's great. And if you're in the Discord, Elijah Adebayo plus 250, half of the goal scorers. He's got them on the board. So 1-1 in that Luton Everton game. And 1-0 to Bilbao in Spain.
Wow.
But lots going on, obviously, and like I said, we'll be jumping back in the Playing with House Money crew. I know, Justin and there's been doing his Friendly Fire stuff, and they're looking at some MLB stuff on over on the Rivals app. I'm in one of the best ball leagues, which I auto drafted my team, and then I looked at it and I was like, this is actually fantastic, until I got to the pitchers, and I clearly on auto draft went very top heavy on the batters and didn't take any pitchers. So that's why I'm not going to do very well in that this season.
I feel like the one position that is a little easier to kind of rotate.
Yeah.
But I've also never played best ball either, so maybe I should just mind my business on that one.
But no, I mean, tomorrow we have some early games. We'll start off at Arsenal.
It's back.
Yeah, it's Arsenal kickoff at 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow morning. home against Bournemouth. Two-team race for the English Premier League title this season now. Liverpool kind of lost to Everton last week, bounced out of it. They still mathematically can, but they're kind of out of it now. They're 5 points behind, 3 games left. You don't see both Man City and Arsenal losing 2 out of their last 3 games, or for Man City 4. City in the driving seat. Arsenal have the points. Arsenal play first again this weekend. Like I said, home to Bournemouth. It should. I don't bet Arsenal normally. You know this. Only very certain games, but we played it in the North London derby. First half goals. Arsenal come out strong in a lot of their games. We get great value on them to score goals in the first half. Plus 158 over 1.5 first half will be where I sprinkle. And hopefully the boys get the job done. And we then put the pressure back on Man City as they play Wolves tomorrow. That's the late game, I think, in the Premier League on Saturday. But yes, championship season. Last game. If you've followed me for a long time, you know, last game of the season, they all kick off. They're all 7:30 kickoffs. We get 12 games all kicking off at the same time because, like I mentioned earlier, they want all of these games because there's a lot to play for at both ends of the table. All games kick off at the same time. So all 12 games over 1.5 goals, kind of an ice tradition that I play for the majority of these leagues when this happens and they all kick off at the same time. It's plus 984. I don't really like it, the value, just because you need 24 goals for less than plus 1,000. So it's a lot to ask for, but it's 2 goals per game. And throughout this season, the championship has been one of those.
3 plus.
Yeah. Where the over is hitting. I mean, the majority of the time, I think even the worst team in the league, the worst over under for 1.5 goals, again, at 1.5, all we're talking about here, the worst split in the league is Bristol City. Played 45 games, 27 games have gone over, 18 games gone under. Their average goals per game is 2.2, and that's the lowest in the entire league. So,
of course, like,
so we go in, yeah.
Hey, in championship,
and we have there will be some more. Like I'll put some more out. Like there's a bunch of teams that have got stuff to play for, especially at the bottom. Both Birmingham, Plymouth, fighting for their lives to stay up. They're both at home, but they're both playing teams that also have stuff to play for at the top of the league in Norwich and Hull City. Norwich have less to play for because they're basically guaranteed playoff football. Hull have to win to get playoff football. So that for me kind of gives Birmingham an edge to stay up. And then at the top, we already know that Leicester are champions. Leicester have won that. They've won their, they scored 3 and 4 their last 2 games and finally found themselves again. But we have Ipswich. Ipswich currently sat in second place on 93 points, and Leeds in third place on 90 points. But Leeds have better goal difference. So if Ipswich lose and Leeds win, then Leeds will leapfrog them into second place, which is an automatic promotion. That third place spot has to play in the playoffs. So there's a lot to play for there. But Ipswich are at home to Huddersfield, who are 23rd in the league. They do have something to play for. They need a miracle to stay up. In all honesty, they need to beat Ipswich, who are the second best team in the league. One, but they need to also have like a 15-goal swing in their game and Plymouth's game. So very unlikely. But if Huddersfield can pull it off and get the win, and Ipswich lose, then Leeds need to beat Southampton, who are actually 4th in the league, to leapfrog them. So Ipswich and Leeds will be will be some obvious answers for team totals, and as will Leicester. Leicester, like we said, they've already won the league, but they have 97 points. So I still think they will be going out here. They're at home to Blackburn. Blackburn, one of my favourite teams to bet on in the league this season. We've talked about them before, but they have nothing to play for. They are horrible defensively, literally the third worst defence in the entire league. And Leicester will want to break 100 points.
100. Yeah, they'll go for the honcho.
Yeah. So they're gonna, and again, like I said, they're just on. They've really found their form in the last couple of weeks. They beat Southampton 5-0 at home, and then beat Preston 3-0 away to confirm themselves as champions. So yeah, I like the obvious. Like, I've played this basically every week since it became a 3-horse race for the title: Ipswich, Leeds, and Leicester. But today, like, if they're not going to do it tomorrow, then like I said, this is the last roll of the dice. It shouldn't have come to this for either Leeds or Ipswich. They should have still been competing for the title. They've just both had an incredibly rough end to the season, but it all comes down to this one for them. So that's where we're going to be looking. And like I said, that's real early tomorrow morning, so we need to get those out tonight. They'll be in the Discord tonight. Because it's a 7:30 Eastern time kickoff for all those games tomorrow morning.
Yeah, 6:30 my time. I need the goal scorers, so I guess I'll have to set like 10 alarms.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, I don't know who. Ipswich and Leeds is probably easy enough. They're going to play their full strength. Leicester, I have no idea what type of team they're going to put out.
Yeah, no, I'd rather just have to wing it. I'd rather just have to risk it and get up on time fakely. I don't know. We'll see.
Get up early, put it on, go back to bed, and then wake up to see the money in your account. That's the way we do it.
Yeah, for sure. I can't say. Yeah, actually, Saturdays have definitely been like that for me plenty. So you're definitely right about that.
And then, and another staying in England. One of my favorite bets of the weekend is Burnley v Newcastle.
Okay.
Similar story to kind of what we talked about in the Championship. We've got Burnley in 19th place, second from bottom, trying to survive. They have a lot to play for. They just drew with Man United. Last-minute penalty. But Newcastle are in 7th that are trying to leapfrog Man United to get into the European positions, European football next year. Newcastle just battered Sheffield United 5-1. They've recently put 4 past Tottenham, which is fantastic. I said they would do that, but their away form is not great. Newcastle's away form, they lost to Palace last time out away from home, so we get some good value on them because their away form isn't great. But they are the 4th sharpest attack in the league. They've scored 74 goals this season. 3rd behind Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. And Burnley are where they are. They're the 3rd worst defense in the league, which is why they're in the bottom 3. So you get minus 156 on Newcastle to score twice, which I think is good value. And then, we just ladder from there. 220 for the 3 goals, plus 630 for 4. And if you want to be a degenerate and take the 5, it's plus 1500. So, I think that ladder is kind of going to be like I said, I'll put the 2 goals in my kind of all day Saturday bet. But definitely be taking the 3, 4, and I'll probably sprinkle on the 5 because, hey, Newcastle have done it a couple of times at home. Like I said, they want to win this game and put the pressure on Man United with only a handful of games left to get that 6th place and that European football next season. Both of those teams will want it. Tottenham are actually in very serious danger of slipping out of the top 6, which would be fantastic.
Hey,
But just purely because of their running, right? They played Arsenal, they played Liverpool this weekend, on Sunday, and I have the Liverpool team total obviously in my Sunday bets. But if both Newcastle and Manchester United win this weekend and Tottenham lose, then there's only 4 points between them, all with 3 games to go and playing for 2 places. So only 2 of them can qualify for Europe. And Tottenham still have Man City left to play, which you would assume that Man City are still obviously going to win that game. And I tweeted that the other day. Everything in my life would put money on Man City winning that game because Tottenham are not going to be the team to beat Man City and let Arsenal win the league. I debated that, argued that with a bunch of people on Twitter yesterday.
I missed this.
What?
I missed you going back and forth with people about this.
Yeah, probably. Who just think that Tottenham will give Man City a good game. I just don't see it.
Bursey?
I don't see. Yeah, I don't see the side. Yeah, I'd be playing the Man City team total. Like I said, I'll play the Liverpool team total. I play it at this point. I played the Chelsea. They scored twice. Like Tottenham, I've said this forever. Tottenham don't turn up in games which actually mean anything, and Tottenham now have 4 games in a row that actually mean something, and their last couple of games have meant something as well. And don't get me wrong, they actually did turn up in the second half of that Arsenal game. They obviously turned up, but by then they were 3 goals down, so it was too little too late. They've got Tottenham, then have Burnley at home, which is obviously very winnable. We're talking about Newcastle putting 4 or 5 past Burnley this weekend, but then they have Man City, and then they go away to Sheffield United to finish off the season. And I mean, if they lose both of those 2 games, like I said, that puts a huge amount of pressure on them going into that last game of the season. And we've said this forever, that when there's pressure on Tottenham, they very rarely perform. So I don't think it will. It's going to take a lot for them to slip out of that top 6. But it would be hilarious, obviously, for me as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
If they did that. But
it's crazy that people were really arguing that as if like we haven't been literally screaming.
I think
for years.
Yeah. I mean, people are saying that, Tottenham players are on bonuses for where they come in the league. Like, I'll be honest with you, Premier League bonuses are not like they are in the NFL. Absolutely nowhere near anything like contracts are in the NFL, where you get the bonuses for, $1 million for another touchdown, another cat. You don't hear it. There's nothing like that in the Premier League. They will get incentive bonuses in contracts. Like, people are trying to tell me that these Tottenham players have all these incentives and all these bonuses in their contracts. I'm like, no, they just want to be in Spain.
Oh, so you're arguing with Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say that. We won't get mad.
No,
we won't get mad at that. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, do they not?
Yeah. I'm like, have you watched Tottenham play football? When was
you're arguing
them play together? Like, you're arguing, thinking that in that one game they're going to go out and all 11 players on that pitch are going to be putting in 100%. When they know that if they win that game, that they ultimately are giving their closest rivals the title. No, not going to happen. I don't get
no sport that there's not a single sport that happens in anyway. No matter.
No, well, exactly. Like, I'm like, you're going to go out like Man City. Man City would win that game even if you put out your best team, and even if Tottenham played well, Man City would still be favourites to win the game. So yeah, but I just think they've had the toughest running of everyone in the top 5. Like, Tottenham had a very tough running. I get, but they've lost 3 on the bounce. They turned up in, like I said, for one half of those 3 games, and that's not good enough if you're trying to play European football next season. So, yeah, I mean, is what it is. But then let's
go! Christopher Morel homer, cash it. Let's go. Let's go.
I really meant to play him home run as well. It was plus 600 to home run, I think.
Was he really? I just saw the boost and I was like, they're crazy.
Yeah. Nice work. Plus 200, right? The boost.
Yeah. Yeah, plus 200. And DraftKings. Yeah, I don't know what everybody's like max bet was, so I won't speak on it. But
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, wait, what? Really? He is bad. He is batting. I think he's batting 207 going into today, but
Yeah.
He's one of their engines. Young superstar in the making. So, hey, we love it. We love it. Good start to the Friday afternoon.
Yeah, fantastic start to the Friday. It's Saturday, MLS. I've picked 5 games. Just going for goals. Don't care who scores them. Over 2.5 goals in these 5 games. Atlanta at home to Minnesota.
Okay.
Atlanta just played out a 0-0 away at Chicago Fire. And I don't expect them to play out another 0-0 in a while. They had so many chances in that game that, so I don't expect them to play out another 0-0. Certainly not at home. They're getting on the score sheet. Minnesota have been pretty decent themselves, including, we have a great away record. So again, that's going to be the running theme. Atlanta, Minnesota, over 2.5 goals in that game. Miami against New York Red Bulls. It's Miami. They could score the 3 on their own. They could concede 3. Straightforward. You're going to give me minus 178 on there being 3 goals in a Miami game. I'm going to take it.
Yeah, we love that.
Even if they are playing a New York team that I don't like to bet on, it's like I said, that could be 3-0 either way quite easily. DC United against Philadelphia. I would have this one down as both teams to score anyway. Philly's away games this season have been dumb. 2-2, 3-1, 2-1, 2-2. We know we have the boy Danny Gazdag in there that's going to come through with us. And
Danny Gazdag, franchise leader.
Yep.
Franchise leader. I don't know why they keep giving us plus 250. It's insane. It's insane. It's all, hey, he wakes up and scores goals, bro. Insane.
Yeah.
Did you see Jerry's best bet for Saturday? I think you would actually.
Oof. Burnley plus 225.
Yeah.
That's the Newcastle. That's the Newcastle away from home stuff not being great. And again, Burnley with a lot to play for. I don't hate it. I understand the logic in why you would play that value, but
we have a love-hate relationship with Burnley after this season, guys. So
I mean, the love part of it is I love JJ Watt, and I see a lot of him on Pat McAfee and stuff, and he's obviously a part owner in it, and he's over there trying to get involved in it, and fair play to him for doing that. But I mean, like I said, they just defensively they're just going to give up goals, and I mean, maybe the draw no bet is probably a better way to go if you're playing that. Obviously, much safer, much lower odds you're going to get on it, but. So that's 3, right? Atlanta, Philly, Miami, Houston, St. Louis, because I mean St. Louis are the boys still.
Of course.
That one's more assuming that St. Louis is away from home. They're going to score goals, but they're also going to concede goals. They're one of those teams. They're the Real Madrid Barcelonas of the league. They're it's insane. They've had 2 3-3 draws and a 2-2 draw in their 4 away games so far this season.
And it's crazy. The last goal will come in the 89th.
Yeah. And then the last one is Vancouver against Austin, which is the last game of the day. I hate waiting until the last game. Normally,
and that's not a matchup I would have to hear.
What?
That's not a matchup that I would have thought to hear.
Vancouver have been surprisingly decent. And Austin have the boy Seba Driussi. They're picking up. I just like that game for goals. You could, given it's the last game, I very well might just take that one over 1.5.
No, I'm not saying to scrap it. I'm not saying to scrap it at all.
I just, I hate getting to the last game and then like sat in there waiting for goals.
But then you wait for the glory. You love it. So,
but yeah, for the 15 goals, 5 games over 2.5 match goals is plus 1100. So, yeah.
What's the both teams to score? Do you know?
I don't know.
I know I shouldn't ask that right on the spot. Like put you right on Front Street. Like, hey, come on. That's definitely something I would check out.
Yeah,
it's over the. You know how the 2.5 is.
Yeah, I love both teams to score in all of it. I mean, that's the thing, right? That's what I always say. It's always the both teams to score versus the over 2.5, and
right. Because if you expect both to score, you expect one of them to at least win. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I always have that back and forth, and then the games finish 1-0, and you're like, you took the over 2.5, but then if you took the both teams to score, one of them's finishing 3-0.
Yeah,
and you've just we've been there so many times. It's just like for the roughly the same value, taking the 2.5 just to be able to be like just need goals anywhere and not need a specific team to get that goal it's just you kind of can breathe a little bit easier watching those games. And then Sunday is not too much. There's not too much going on Sunday for me. We've mentioned one of the games already. You've got Liverpool at home to Tottenham. One of Jurgen Klopp's last home games in charge of Liverpool. We already know that he's leaving at the end of the season, so they will want to send him out with a bang. They've lost their last 2 home games. They lost in the Europa League to Atalanta, got beat 3-0 at home, and then they had the 1-0 loss to Crystal Palace. So, they're not going to want to go out like a damp squib and, have another loss on their record. And like I said, it's Tottenham.
One more time. What was that? Go out like a what?
A damp squib. That's a very English saying, I would assume.
I would assume so. Never. I don't even know what a squib is. So
it's
run those back for the people.
It's disappointing, or they just completely not what's expected. Like you want them to go out with a bang, and it's basically the complete opposite of that. They're gonna go out like they're not gonna lose like 3 or 4 home games on the bounce to say bye to Jurgen Klopp. You know what I mean? Like they still have their pride to play for. I mean, they have only got, like I said, they've only got 3 games left. The last game of the season is at home at Anfield against Wolves. But yeah, I mean, it's Tottenham. I can't say too much more about them that I haven't already said. So Liverpool 3 goals. It's minus 108. Chelsea similarly, they're playing West Ham, so that could be a good game. I love Chelsea to score twice in that game. Going to push it to 3 as well, just for the value. And I know this is where it comes to. I had Chelsea missed 1 goal yesterday against Tottenham. If they'd have scored their 3rd, and I'm going straight back in, having that short memory, and taking them again on Sunday. But it is a West Ham team that conceded 5 away against Crystal Palace last time out.
I don't like how you keep bringing up Crystal Palace like this. Like, stop doing my boys like that, man.
No, Crystal Palace are on fire. Like we've won multiple, but they've been insane. Like the way they're playing recently.
I was trying to tell you early in the season. I seen the vision. They're scrappy, man. They get, they're real scrappy. They fight. They just got to get the shots to drop.
And then you've got Rangers playing in Scottish Premier League is the early game. Them 2.5 goals. They're trying to chase down Celtic. They're 3 points behind. they have to win every game. So 3 goals for Rangers, 3 goals for Chelsea, 3 goals for Liverpool, and then we have the almost. They are this close to going the entire season undefeated by Leverkusen.
Yep.
Yeah, they're the last game on this slate. 2 goals away from home in a game that they're not going to want to lose because they want to go the entire season unbeaten.
Yeah.
They're what I think we have 2 games left, maybe 3. Yeah, they have 3 games left. They do not want to get beaten now. They're 25 and 6, 25 wins, 6 draws, 0 losses on the season.
Yeah, and the way that they forced that last week was crazy.
Yeah, they've been insane. In that sense. So yeah, for them to score twice, -104, you get 11 goals, plus 1750. And if you want to drop them all to over 1.5, take the easy way out. Rangers, Chelsea, Liverpool, Leverkusen is plus 343.
Hey, run them both. Plus 343 is super low though, but
yeah. So you know what I told you earlier at the start about Xavi Simons? I needed the assist for him, so he was going to score. Wasn't quite right. He's just got himself sent off. So
it's poetic. That's poetic.
Yeah. We're talking about live bets. I would absolutely be live betting Hoffenheim to score here. Now, in the last 15 minutes, knowing that I need Leipzig to score 3. I also do have the both. We need the both teams to score.
That's what I was going to say.
Anyway. But yeah, I would double down on that one. Lens Lorient is 0-0, and that would be the one I'm obviously concerned about. Both those teams scoring in the second half, but
yeah, and leave it.
Yeah, I mean, against 10 men, again, there's nothing really left for Leipzig to play for. Like they've cemented top 4. They're in the Champions League next season. They can't catch, obviously, Leverkusen. Like Hoffenheim need to score for their own season to still try and get top 7 European football. Yeah, I mean, I don't even mind the little sprinkle on the Hoffenheim money line at this point. It's just late. You've got 15 minutes to score 2 goals, which is tough. But it's asking a lot, but it is Germany, and
yeah,
if any leagues can do it, Germany is one of those that I would say possibly could.
The last league to get entered into Champions too.
Yeah,
as expected.
Jerry says he likes the Nashville money line in the MLS this week, and it's funny. I had Nashville over 1.5 team total in my parlay, and then I took them out because Nashville and Columbus Crew are one of those. Those are the 2 teams that last season always seemed to be the ones that would let us down. When every time that we thought, oh, like they're the nailed on, they were the ones. And yeah, I understand why. I'm never gonna tell you that a home team in the MLS is not the one to take, because I'm very much an advocate of taking the home teams, as we know. Especially, and I definitely, like I said, they would have been my 6th. If I'd have ranked them, they would have been the 6th pick. Nashville to score twice, just because Montreal have been horrible away from home, but Columbus drew 0-0 with them. That's the type of problem that I envisage with this Nashville team, that this game could be close. So, yeah, like I said, I'm never going to tell you to not take a home favorite in the MLS. Home teams in this league do very well.
Yeah. I almost can't stand I almost can't stand that it always makes sense when you do it. Because it's out of sight, out of mind for me. I'm like, come on. And then sure enough, like them sleeping in their own bed made that big of a difference. It's literally completely different teams.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's anything else? You got anything else popping off this weekend? Anything that sticks out for you? Anyone playing in the MLB that you?
Yeah, you were saying you didn't have much Sunday. It's Cinco de Mayo.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm out in Chicago. It's very big out here, so it's only right that we all get a little loose, and we look at an entire afternoon of MLB because I don't know if you know, the Rangers play the Royals, and
Okay.
we love to hear that. So Sunday, I'm definitely looking at that there at 110. We don't know who will be on the mound for Kansas City yet, but does it really matter? Not really. You can take 1 through 6 on. You really take 1 through 9 on Texas, to be honest with you, but I won't get you guys, that hyped up this early on in the season. 1 through 4, Simeon, Seager, Garcia. You can really take any of those. You could take those 3 any day of the weekend, but Sunday in an early afternoon, I like to take those. The guys that I know are going to be strictly business, and because last year we had our indifference with Sundays. It always seemed like a little bit more sluggish because it is kind of a quick turnover for some of the teams. Like some of the guys will play until 10 p.m. the night before, play right away at 1 p.m. the next day. But certain guys kind of just have that bounce back, like especially Adolis Garcia. He was a machine, and I expect more of that. So they're playing Kansas City Sunday, and then hey, the 2 heavyweights, Braves Dodgers. Why not? Why not get some Freddie and Acuna action in?
Why
Mookie
not?
and Albies. We'll run the double. We'll run the double MO.
Yep.
That's our MO.
Always. Yep.
So, we could get the Matt Olson, Marcell Ozuna going. We'll have a lot of fun with Sunday. Sunday's wide open. Everything's early. I'll probably be a couple beers in. So I'll be able to entertain the group while we do this. And it'll be a great weekend. But yeah, so Sunday I'll take over. I'll take over for what we're missing in soccer. But yeah, hopefully Dansby Swanson can end this game strong right now because he's really ruining my mood. I don't even like playing, bro. I don't even like playing, but you know what I'm saying? I was going to take Hap. He 2 for 2 right out the gate, so I don't even want to talk about that right now. But yeah. And then, I meant to say, for a couple bucks, don't overdo it, guys. The MLB, that money line, that early win promo that DraftKings does.
Yep.
So I went searching like, damn, so who's the most lopsided money line? And what do you know? We are plus 225 to be up by 2 at any point of the game, and they're playing the Cardinals. Like, they suck too. Like, I don't know why. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We're both underwhelming and underperforming batting lineups. Why not? I just want to see like a Luis 2-run rocket first inning.
Yeah.
Cash that right out of the gate and keep it moving. But if anybody wants to join my misery on that, I got that tonight. That's at 7:15, so Central Time.
Oh, that's a Friday night.
Yeah. I won't give you something that early for a Sunday. And honestly, if I bet two Sox money lines in the same season, my head might explode. So this would be the one. But yeah, we're horrible, and I'm miserable about it. But hey, it is what it is. Come join my misery though, because they're gonna be up by 2 in like the 3rd inning, and we're just gonna catch that. So
sounds good. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. If you have any questions, absolutely just hit us up, like we said, on Twitter at Iceman_1013, at PruBaby10, or the Playing with House Money Twitter at PW_House Money. Jump in. What?
We need followers. There's no reason we should follow the Twitter. Stay updated, please. Okay. Man, you guys are missing stuff. We're getting free plays off. We're getting free plays off from the guy, the GOAT. We got El Jefe working overtime over here, man. You guys are missing money.
Yeah. And like I said, we're Playing with House Money. We'll be back next Thursday. So we'll be diving into some more MLB stuff, taking a look at at what's shaping up with the NFL, and now we've got the draft out the way. Just looking what's that. I know you're obviously very hopeful this season as a Chicago Bears fan.
Watch out! The league is on notice. Watch out! Hey, Shorty, bring us a Super Bowl. I might start painting my nails. I'm kidding, but yeah, go Bears. Yeah, and next Thursday we'll be able to figure out who pissed me off too, because we're back. We're back. We're loaded. We're locked and loaded, and you know what that means. A lot of anger and frustration and heartbreak, most likely, but all to the glory.
All in it together, right? We're all in it together, and we'll get those therapy sessions started back up again. The Who Pissed Off Crew episodes on a Thursday.
Hey, because sometimes the very first prop you post cashes with the homer on a nice afternoon. So, it's all for the glory, man. Hey, get to the Discord. Get to the Discord. We'll put you in the groups, in the link groups, and everything you need. Get to the Twitter. Stop missing money though, especially with him. I can't tell you. I'm missing money with him. It's unreal. Walking ATM right now. So get here.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And thanks everyone for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
Later.